Welcome to Storytimer at Large. Cindy Wood. Cindy Wood was born to Barbara and Ronald Royts, August 16, 1960. She went to Elston High School in Michigan City, Indiana. I really like Michigan City. It's right there on Lake Michigan. It's east of the Chicago area along the southern tip of Lake Michigan. There's a big, beautiful lighthouse there. And near there is Indiana Dunes State Park, not too far from there, which is a really beautiful place to go. Yeah, it's a neat little town. Cindy Wood married Timothy Wood she was Cindy Royts, married Timothy Wood on the 21st of October, 1977. The couple had a son named Clinton the following year. They were also blessed with a daughter named Kelly. In 1982, Cindy was working as a secretary for Dan's Body Shop. She had worked there for only about 6 weeks. She and her family lived at 532 Holiday Street in Michigan City. Cindy was last seen at 1 a.m. Saturday morning on February 20th, 1982. Her family must have been expecting her home because they notified police that she was missing at 3 a.m. They didn't wait. Cindy's purse was found at 8 a.m. on Poplar Street near Madison, which is about 7 blocks southwest of her home. Was she walking home from somewhere? A logical route from her work to her home would take her along Poplar Street. I'm wondering if her workplace stayed open that late in those days, or maybe she was working late on, working on the books. I don't know. If they did towing work, then that seemed possible. A lot of tow truck companies have someone who stays there quite late answering the phones and making sure that stranded motorists or people dealing with car accidents can get a tow in the middle of the night. There's usually a 24-hour kind of towing situation. Or what had she been out? Maybe she was walking home from a friend's house. I'm not sure. The church that she regularly attended was near her work, and she could have been also walking home from there. The date's not a holiday, it's ordinary time then on the liturgical calendar, so it doesn't seem very likely that she attended a special late evening mass. But again, can't rule that out. Sometime after she was last seen at 1 a.m., someone abducted Cindy. It may or may not have happened where her purse was found on Poplar. Cindy's purse could have been tossed there later by her assailant. Cindy Wood was found near the railroad tracks on a gravel road that leads to what used to be the Martin Marietta Excavating Company on Saturday, February 20th at about 2:30 p.m. The business that's there goes by another name now, but it seems like a similar sort of business. This business is just off Washington Park Boulevard and less than a mile northeast of Cindy's home. Cindy had slashes to her neck that caused her to bleed to death. She also, unusually, there was very little blood found at the site of her body, and that would indicate that she was murdered elsewhere. Where could a person slash a young woman's throat and not be noticed? It was February, so the perpetrator probably wanted to sexually assault her. He would probably want to be out of the cold. So did he do this in a van or a car? That seems very messy and difficult, but not out of the realm of possibility. Did this person have a home with no one around at the home, or a basement maybe? Who was this guy? Was the purse relatively clean, or did it have blood on it? If it was bloody, was it tossed after she was killed? If it was clean, did she drop it when he abducted her? I think one person that they might have looked at the time was John Lee Shippen. In 1983, he was sentenced to 28 years for a rape he committed back in 1981 while he worked as a doorman at a bar. He carjacked a woman in the parking lot and brutalized her, saying he had killed before and would kill again. He was free to go anywhere and everywhere while awaiting trial for 2 years. John Lee Shippen was the last person known to be seen with Dawn Marie Van Meter. She was sexually assaulted and murdered on August 25, 1982. No charges were filed in that case, and it is currently also unsolved. John Lee Shippen appealed his conviction in 1985, but that was not successful. If he served his full sentence, he would have been released in 2011 at the age of 56. He is not currently incarcerated in Indiana that I can find. Shippen also does not come up on Find a Grave or in any searches for obituaries, so he's still out there. In 2025, John Lee Shippen would be about 70 years old. But Shippen is not connected to Cindy Wood's murder. My first guess there was wrong. In 2006, Billy Ray Ashley confessed to killing Cindy Wood. He had seen her walking and offered her a ride. I tend to doubt that he offered her a ride and she just hopped in. I think he abducted her where her purse was found. That's just my theory, but I don't think she would have gotten in the car with him. He said he began demanding sex and they struggled. He slashed her neck in the car and also cut his hand when he did that. He drove her to the site off Washington Park Boulevard and dumped her body there. He went to the hospital that night, early morning, to get stitches in his hand. If only the hospital staff had seen the news the next day about Cindy, someone might have put two and two together. It's very common for a perpetrator to cut themselves while stabbing or slashing someone else. Serial killer Bruce Lindahl cut his own thigh, severing his femoral artery while stabbing another man, and bled out and died there on top of his also deceased victim in 1981. Billy Ray Ashley had never before been connected to the murder of Cindy Wood. So in 2006, his confession was corroborated by details that he supplied about the crime. His girlfriend from the time also stated that his car had a considerable amount of blood in it at the time. How and why did Billy Ray Ashley come to confess? It came up somehow after his arrest for attempting to murder a 63-year-old woman in 2002. He was sentenced to 65 years in prison. According to the Indiana Incarcerated Database, Billy Ray Ashley is now deceased. Between 1982 and 2002, how many other women did he attack and murder? What about before 1982? Billy Ray Ashley wasn't on my radar before, but he sure is now. Cindy Wood was so young. She had a husband and two very young children. She missed out on her whole life. She missed out on raising her children and seeing them grow. She would probably be enjoying her grandchildren by now if she had been allowed to live. Her family deserved to have her with them. Cindy should still be here. Rest in peace, Cindy Wood.